get back. I'll take care of it.
Come on.
Come on.
Liz.
Come on.
Liz.
Go over here.
No.
Stop.
Did you do this? Did you do this? Ah. All right. Stay back on. I'm sorry.
The scenario was a two-car motor vehicle accident. There were two people in one vehicle, three in the other vehicle. One of the drivers was intoxicated, uninjured. The passenger in that vehicle was also uninjured. Two injured individuals in the second vehicle, and the driver of that vehicle had been thrown from the vehicle and was dead at the scene. So all total, we had two uninjured, one seriously injured, one deceased, and one with minor injuries.
Okay. I think DWI has been a big part of my career so far, being a drug recognition expert. Going to a lot of DWI accidents and going to fatal motor vehicle accidents and seeing the trauma that it causes not only for the people involved but also the family members. One of the things that our office does is we're very proactive in enforcing the DWI laws, to avoid situations just like this.
We've been sitting here during this drill. There have been two overdose calls go out in this county. So I know you guys hear about this a lot. It's real. It happens. It's happening right now on opposite sides of this county. Right now, crews are working overdose calls. The message was to make smart decisions, but recently there's been a push that looks at June, July, August as the 100 deadliest days for a teenager. They're out, they're active, they're out of school, they're out on their own, they're driving, they're hanging out with their friends, they're doing a lot more activities, probably the highest level of activities that they've had in their life at that time. So making some bad decisions can really make that day get very, very bad. So the situation, not necessarily drinking and driving, but it could be impaired by drugs. While we were doing this drill, there were 2 OD calls in Genesee County. So that kind of hit the point as those calls also went out that the drug issue is also out there, even though we focus on the driving while intoxicated. The inexperienced driver, the distracted driver, whether it's a cell phone, playing with music, having too many people in the car, having 5 or 6 teenagers in a vehicle that are all having a good time. Nobody's intent is to go out and have an accident. That's a lot of things to distract a young driver who lacks experience.
Change lives completely by that one bad decision. So do not make that one bad decision.
So we responded to a 2-car motor vehicle accident with injury, and I arrived on scene. I spoke with the operator of one of the vehicles who did have the odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath. He was swaying back and forth and unable to stand normally. I initiated standardized field sobriety tests with him, which included HGN test, walk and turn, one-leg stand, as well as the lack of convergence in the modified Romberg balance test. At the conclusion of those tests, I determined that he was intoxicated by alcohol and arrested him for DWI. Okay, how many beers did you actually have?
2. 2?
Okay, you must have more than 2, okay? Because your BAC is a lot more than what 2 beers would do. Alright? So how much did you actually have?
Like 5 or 6.
Okay. Was it just Bud Light or were you drinking liquor also?
I had a couple shots.
Okay, shots of what?
I don't know.
Okay. So right now, I believe that you're intoxicated, okay? So I want you to put your hands behind your back, okay? You ever been arrested for DWI before?
Because I did it last year too, and watching it and being in it is completely different. Like it feels so real. Like when they respond to you, they ask you like real questions. I was getting brought through a real sobriety test. It really just shows you like if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. Definitely, that when you see like your people you know portraying the people like if someone died or seriously injured, I think it really brings across the point like you can't do this.